Glorious gravel events are the best gravel rides in the UK. We're Ian and Trevor from Vielo, and we want to tell you everything you need to know before you go. So this is the presentation that we bring out to most weekends. So we're on the road most weekends at shows and events, and we sponsor this series. And we bring out our full road and gravel collection.
Some of the best venues around the UK, Glorious Gravel have chosen for their sportive rides, anywhere from Kielder Forest in the northeast, North Wales forests, Sherwood Forest, Cannock Chase, Salisbury Hills, the Surrey Hills. So completely covered. You're no more than about an hour away from any one of those venues.
Glorious Gravel always put on the best rides, and there's various route lengths available for each one. You also get a GPX file before the event, so you can follow that, but it's really well signposted usually.
Yeah, you can kind of sort out which route that you want. If you want to do one of the big long distance ones and you're feeling very, very fit, or you've got bags and bags of energy, you can do that. If you want to come in and just have a load of fun, bring the bike that you've got, then that's available as well. So there are shorter routes. You start at different times. So there's something for everybody in each of the events.
We've been to loads of Glorious Gravel events over the past couple of years. In fact, we've probably done about 50 of them. The bike to use at those events varies massively. You can bring your hybrid bike, you can bring your mountain bike. If you've got an e-bike, they welcome that as well. We obviously recommend a gravel bike. What we really recommend though is if you are bringing your own bike, don't just pull it out of the shed the morning of. Give it a once over so that you can make the most out of your day.
I think one of the best things about gravel riding, and especially with Glorious Gravel events, is it's just a ton of fun. It's open for everybody. You don't have to worry about wearing the right color clothes, the right color socks. Bring what you've got, but just make sure you've got it prepared. I've seen such a wide range of bikes, genuinely, from kind of city commuting style bikes right the way across to electric mountain bikes where husbands and wives are kind of turned up. And I think a lot depends on the venue. So if you're riding somewhere like Thetford Forest, which is pretty flat, you can probably get away with a city bike with 35, 40 mil tires possibly. But if you're riding somewhere like the Peak District or maybe Kielder, where you do need a bit more comfort and a bit more technical, then you're going to need something with slightly wider tires to get you around that kind of circuit.
Tires is really important. And I know Glorious Gravel, they recommend anything between 40 to 50 mil, but essentially it's the bigger, the better. What have we got on here?
Well, on the V Plus one, we engineered the frame right from the get-go to carry 700C up to 50 mil tires. So that is the perfect sweet spot. And I know a lot of people might think 50 mil tire, that sounds like a mountain bike tire, but gravel tire technology has moved on so much. You can run a really, really good gravel tire, 50 mil, low tire pressure. You're probably running around about 30, 35 PSI maximum, tubeless, and that really, really is the sweet spot. But obviously a lot depends on the bike that you've got and how wide those tires will accommodate the frame that you've got as well.
So I don't do any of the spannering and dirty work in here. When I bring my bike to the event, what will you have checked in advance?
Yeah, that's probably just about right, I would say. So if you are coming to any of the Glorious Gravel events, then something or some points just to remember before you put your bike in the car. Try and make sure it's clean. That always helps. Make sure that if you've got electronic group sets, the batteries are charged. For us with SRAM batteries, they're obviously in the rear mech. Just make sure that's charged up before you come. And there's also little watch batteries just inside the shifter here as well. So it's probably worth carrying a couple of spares of those when you're coming. Chain, gear ratios, everything like that. Just make sure the chain is clean. It doesn't have to be over greased. If you put too much grease on the chain or too much oil on the chain, it just attracts a load more dirt and it just causes more and more problems, especially for gear shifting, that kind of thing. So generally, just make sure you've got enough brakes. Brake pads you probably want to bring. We'll come on to that in a moment. Make sure it's clean and tidy. All the gears work. Tire pressure is correct. And you'll be just about ready to go.
Packing list. Essentials you're going to need on the day. Glorious Gravel do a really good job of providing sweeper service. So there is a van support if you do have a mechanical. There's really good feed stations all the way around the event. But you want to make sure you're self-sufficient and you've got all the basics covered. So if you do have a mechanical, if you do have an injury, you've got the tools required out in the wilds to be able to look after yourself. So first one, water balls. Make sure you pack your water balls.
And make sure you've got bottle cage mounts as well.
That's really useful. Ian touched on brake pads before. Glorious recommend taking a spare set of brake pads with you. If the forecast looks like it's going to be really wet, that could be really useful.
Copy that.
If you get a puncture, You're going to need, if it's not set up tubeless, you're probably going to want inner tubes. Really important to make sure you check the valve length when you're buying your inner tubes. A number of times I've seen people with the wrong length valves for their wheels. You've got to make sure, even if you're running tubeless, you've got everything you need. What would you bring?
I think probably, at least we tend to run tubeless. It's the easiest setup, and it is going to cure any punctures very, very quickly. But you might find you've got a massive big gash in the tire from a rock or something like that. So you're probably going to need to carry at least a tube, which is the correct size, the correct valve length. Pop that in your kit bag.
A puncture repair kit for tubeless as well.
Very, very useful little tool, little gadget, little widget. And of course, if you are running tubeless, you might want to carry some spare sealant with you as well. Little 220ml bottle of tubeless sealant is really, really good idea. Then, of course, you're going to need to inflate it. And there's tons of different options for inflating or re-inflating your tire.
So we carry electric pumps if they're really, really useful. You can take CO2 canisters, or if you've got a hand pump, all of those work really well. Just make sure you've got something that's working and you know how to use it. So when you are on the wilds, it's not ruining the rest of your day. You can just stick a tube in, ride round to the next stop.
Electric pump, mini pump, gas cylinder, anything at all, just to get that tire pressure up if you're stuck out somewhere and you do find yourself with a flat.
You're also going to want a tire lever as well, because if you can't get the tire off, you're not going to be able to ride it.
Tire levers are really, really important. There's a lot of really good composite tire levers that are a lot more friendly on rims, both alloy rims and carbon rims. Don't just bring one. You'll probably need to bring two if you're popping the tire off or even trying to put it back on the rim again.
Medical supplies, whether that's medication for you personally or just essentials. If you do have a minor accident, you want to be able to look after yourself when you're out there until somebody comes and picks you up. So they recommend bandages, gauze, and some antiseptic sprays as well.
Very useful. Put that in your kit bag.
A multi-tool, something to be able to fix any minor road repairs. Now, we've got a bit of a posh one, but something that has a chain tool on it will be really useful as well, just so you can be self-sufficient again.
Yeah, just make sure you've got all of the bolt heads covered, whether it's a Torx, a hex, a socket, whatever it is, you've got everything in your mini tool, which is going to be really, really useful. And then probably, as I'm loading this up, you're thinking, okay, how am I going to be carrying all of this lot?
There's loads of different bag options available. You don't necessarily need a backpack or a rucksack. If that's all you've got, bring that. That'll work. But in terms of on-frame options,
there's tons and tons of options for carrying stuff like this, whether it's frame bags, whether it's a rear rack. There's lots of different systems. We recommend tail fin if you are carrying a rear rack, because the load actually goes straight through the axle rather than through the frame. But there's lots and lots of options if you want to carry something either on yourself with a backpack, probably drinks or that kind of thing. But tools, all the other essentials go on the frame.
Other essentials, when it comes to kit, just wear what you're comfortable. It doesn't need to be Lycra, but make sure you've got some of the obvious ones, which is shoes. Make sure you've got your pedals attached to the bike as well, that they match. We've seen that a couple of times where people have got the wrong shoes and pedals with them. Helmet. I wear a helmet. And then kit. Bring kit for all possible options. Some of the events we've been to have started off dry and then have been biblically wet. Just make sure you've got variations of kit with you so that you can be warm and comfortable throughout the day. If you're lucky, it'll be a nice sunny one. So how does the day start? What can you expect when you arrive on site? It's a pretty early start normally.
Yeah, prior to arrival, you're going to get all the information that you need from the team at Glorious Gravel, the location, the start location, all your GPS stuff as well for your computer. So the day normally starts quite early for sign-ons, probably about 7:30, depending on the time of the year. You get signed on, you get your number board, you all get checked in. And then once that's done, Phil and the team will set you off in groups of people, and you'll get a briefing where the event goes, where the ride goes, what to look out for, what signs to look for. It's really, really well organized, good description. They send you off in bunches rather than a mass start of 200 or 300 people, small groups, and just a lot of fun again.
On the route, every 30 to 40 kilometers, there will be a feed station, which has proper food. It'll have tea, it'll have coffee. The first one usually has sandwiches at it as well. And there's lots of little things you can stick in your jersey pocket with sweets and little energy drink refills you can get as well. And then as you get back into the field, you'll come back into the start-finish location where we will be. And you'll pick up your medal and earn yourself a beverage of some sort.
Yeah, there's a couple of food companies which are helping provide food at the end of the ride as well, and drinks companies too. As Trevor says, you end up with your medal. And that's where there's a chance to kind of hang out, refuel yourself, have a chat with your mates, what the ride was all about. Come and see us and have a chat with some more about Vielo bikes, how we can help you get on something as really, really cool, super performance gravel bike. So yeah, that's where a hangout station is. Opportunity to clean your bike. There's cleaning companies that are there as well. So you can get everything cleaned down before you pack your bikes away and then head off back home.
So that pretty much goes everything you need to know before you go to the event. You'll see us with our rig and setup at most of the UK gravel rides. We do a fair amount of them. We'll be in the start-finish area. Come talk to us about the bike. Tell us, now that you've fallen in love with gravel cycling, we can help show you more about our product. So we look forward to seeing you at those events this year.